Welcome to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm your host, Joy Taylor. We've got a packed show today. Skip, Shannon, let's get to it. Welcome to Undisputed. We're live from Los Angeles. I'm Joy Taylor, here with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharpe. Good morning, guys.
How are you?
I'm fine, Skip. How are you?
Hi, Joy. How are you?
Hey, Joy. Where you going, Joy? What you up to? You ought to know good. I know it. I know you got something up them sleeves.
Maybe I do.
You going somewhere, Skip.
It's my magic dress.
Don't let her fool
I got something on my sleeve.
you. ain't got nothing up there.
I got unbuttoned.
Shirt sleeve. That's what you got up that sleeve.
Because it was so starched, I couldn't get either side to button. That's what I got up my sleeve.
Gotta make sure you're looking good.
How are you, Shannon?
Lord have mercy. That was.
Huh?
Why you got to tell all that information? Oh,
I don't know.
It starts so hard I couldn't button it.
Well, you know.
Dry snitching on yourself.
I
Ain't nobody
did,
ask you
on
that.
myself.
Ain't nobody ask you all those questions.
Juju Smith-Schuster and D'Angelo Hall are both in studio with us coming up later in the show. But let's start with Kevin Love. He wrote a very revealing article in the Players Tribune yesterday about his mental health. Love said he suffered a panic attack during a game against the Hawks back in November, and he had to be taken to the hospital. Cleveland.com reported Love told his teammates during the infamous January team meeting that he also left a game against the Thunder because of a panic attack. Love said he was inspired to speak about his condition after seeing fellow All-Star DeMar DeRozan talk about his own bouts of depression last week. Shannon, what's your reaction to Love's article?
Kevin Love should be commended. It takes a lot. It took a lot for him to open up. And I think, as he mentioned, DeMar DeRozan opening up allowed him to open up. You see, a lot of times athletes are viewed as invincible. Athletes are a microcosm of normal people. Well, I hate to say normal, but just because you shoot a basketball, Skip, just because you play baseball or can catch or throw a football, it doesn't exempt you from problems that people that do not do these things face. He dealing with panic and mental illness. Eddie Lacy, eating disorder. They have drug issues in professional sports. The same problems that afflict people that do not play professional sports afflict people that do play professional sports.
That's true.
And for him to open up about this and to become vulnerable, it gives you a glimpse into how, I think, put it like this. It offers you a glimpse into who Kevin Love is because he revealed he told no one, not his mom, not his dad. They say, or his closest friends. Skip, they say people, when someone, if someone says something about you, in order for it to affect you, you must first value their opinion. He didn't tell the people closest to him because he valued their opinion. He was wondering in his mind, how would they perceive me? What would they think of me? Do they think I'm like crazy? I need to be committed? What's going on here? So he withheld that for them because he didn't want their perception of him to change. It takes an awful lot, Skip, to do this because as an athlete, we look at ourselves as being, I was one for 14 years. We feel we're indestructible. We feel we're invincible in things that affect normal that people that do not do what we do, that can possibly touch us. How could that possibly be? Man, I play a professional sport. There's 500 people that play NBA basketball. It can't happen to me. But it did. And it takes a big man or a big woman or a big person to open up and share one's most intimate. And I just remember as a kid, my grandma would say, boy, no matter how bad we got it, somebody got it worse than us. And Kevin Love basically said, hey, I'm not the only one. Someone probably has it worse than me, but this is what I have going on in my life, and I'm no longer afraid to share it with the world.
Took courage.
Yes.
Took guts to put yourself out on display like that, your innermost issue, and I commend him for it, and I appreciated that LeBron publicly commended him and said this will make you even more powerful than you were before because it took so much guts and just raw courage to put this out there. And now we go back to that flashpoint of the Cleveland season, which was that fiery team meeting, as reported by ESPN, that precipitated everything that happened at the trade deadline because it looked like the Cavs were coming completely apart because a number of the veteran players, one of them no longer with the team now in Los Angeles, questioned the legitimacy of one Kevin Love's illness during that Oklahoma City game when he took himself out and then left the arena. Remember that?
Yes.
So this causes this flashpoint meeting, and I'm pretty sure, by all accounts, that's when he divulged to the team, well, this is my issue. I'm not ill as in stomach flu.
Right.
I got this going on. And I wish I could have been a fly on that wall, because I'd like to have seen how it played. Did they continue to question the legitimacy? Because I've been doing this for a long time, and I've been around a lot of old school, hard-nosed, tough basketball and football players, and they would say baloney to this, like, just suck it up and deal with it.
You know, I came up old school.
You did.
And I'm sitting in that, you know what I'm saying? Bro, you weak.
That's what you would say. I agree.
That's
right.
That's in that era. That's what
Yep.
would have happened if he came up in 80s, 70s, 80s, 90s basketball. That's what would have been said.
Yep.
And now, Skip, we look at it. The way we view things, and like you said, you've had an opportunity to see both sides of the equation, and the things that are said and how things are perceived. You can no longer do that now.
Right.
But he did open himself up now on the basketball court. It's a different ball game.
It is.
Now, nobody might say anything publicly.
I know.
But I can assure you, on the basketball court,
He's going to hear about it.
yes, yes.
Because it is, so to speak, kill or be killed. Psychologically,
Yes.
kill or be killed.
Yes.
And yeah, just to frame this, and I don't want to come across as, so to speak, cavalier about this. I don't want to be insensitive, because this is a legitimate malady.
Right.
And I go back to, I'm going to say, dare I say, the toughest fictional character in the history of television was one Tony Soprano. Were you a Sopranos fan?
I was not a Soprano
Okay,
fan.
I was. Watched every minute of it. You
Yeah.
know it? And Tony Soprano routinely suffered from panic attacks. It was the constant thread that he was fighting his inner demon of panic attacks throughout all the Sopranos seasons. So that drove him to his therapy sessions with Dr. Melfi. So the point is that it became a big thing for Tony Soprano, so I'm not going to, I don't want to diminish at all what Kevin Love is going through. He said he had some family issues that were causing a lot of stress. And then the truth is, it's hard to play with the king. It is, man. It's tough. This you want to talk about a cauldron that you play in on a nightly basis, and you want to talk about pressure. And how many times have we talked about, Kevin Love, where are you? LeBron needs you. And now he is the second best player, right? And I guess he was always vying for second best. It was Kyrie, obviously, but he was the third best.
Yes.
And obviously,
But that was a big transition, Skip, because he came from being first best.
He was first
You
best.
go from first best to being third best.
okay, but first best never made the playoffs one time in 6 years in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Okay? So he could play somewhat in the shadows where there wasn't the nightly heat on him to rise and shine
No
and
expectations.
live up to your at least big three. He's part of the big three.
Yes,
So
yes.
there's been a lot of heat on him.
Absolutely.
And when he comes back from his injury this time, whoo!
Yes.
You don't think there's going to be
Yes.
huge pressure? I know you've got expectations
Yes.
of him,
And
for him.
And probably, Skip, when you go from being the big fish, but there's no expectation. Nobody thought Kevin Love was leading Minnesota to the promised land.
Nope.
And then you go to expectations on a nightly basis.
Yep.
I played with an all-time great player.
Yep.
There is expectations. He expects you to make every play.
Yep.
And when you don't make every play, if he skips the ball to you, you ran the ball too deep. That's what he wouldn't say that, but that was the expectation. You got to make every play. Well, and when you play with LeBron, you got to make every shot.
Yep.
You got to catch every pass that he throws you. That's what the expectations is. That brings on a lot of stress, Skip Bayless.
It does.
Because on a nightly, everybody can't play in that pressure cooker. Everybody, I want to do that. I want to do that. But to play in that pressure cooker, what is New England in football? What is the Cavaliers in basketball or Golden State?
It is.
That is a pressure cooker on a nightly basis. And that will bring a lot of stress, a lot of undue stress upon one.
And LeBron is in the vortex of all that stress. And I have high regard for how he handles it on a nightly basis.
Yeah.
It is not easy.
Yes.
But he is built to thrive on drama. I've always called him the drama king because he likes it. And in my time of covering sports, never have I seen a superstar generate more nightly soap or dare I say, soup opera, as we had with J.R. Smith the other day, than LeBron James does. It swirls around him, and this team this year, this is the most drama-packed single season I can remember of any team I've ever covered in any sport. I don't cover the team, but watch closely.
Right.
I can't remember one. Some of those Yankees, Steinbrenner, Billy Martin, I'm going way back. But
maybe it would have been interesting, Skip, had we had social media.
Yeah.
Maybe we could see the drama between Mr. Steinbrenner and Billy Martin play out, and Reggie Jackson, and then Dave Winfield. See all that drama play out on a daily basis.
Maybe.
Or maybe the Bulls in the 90s when they were going through and Michael was, we'd have known that Michael punched Steve Kerr in the eye. We would have known that Michael was going to the casinos. We would have known all this, but we don't know it till after the fact now.
I covered the last Bulls run, so to speak, the 98 Bulls. And I don't remember this. And you had Dennis Rodman doing something every night. But it didn't take on this magnitude because just to put this in perspective, okay, so now the second best player on the team has panic attacks, suffers from panic attacks. And then we go back to the first of what sparked all this was Kyrie Irving said, I can't take it anymore. And a lot that he couldn't take was the drama that swirls around LeBron, that LeBron feeds off of. And Kyrie finally just got worn out from it and said, I can't take it, and I demand you get me out of here.
Skip, and I believe maybe some of that is true, but I believe that they had a meeting, and there was a hypothetical question posed. And it was involved trading Kyrie. Now, I believe
he didn't like it. He got word of it and wind of it.
There's only a handful of people in that meeting. Somebody told Kyrie or they told Kyrie's representative. I feel very comfortable in saying it was not Dan Gilbert. But it got back to Kyrie. And Kyrie says if you're bold enough, brazen enough to speak hypothetically, because I've always said there are two untouchables with the Cavaliers. That's Kyrie Irving and that's LeBron James. But they broached the subject of a potential trade involving Kyrie.
Okay.
Skip, he feels he's like, okay, I get it. I'm the second best player, but you're thinking about, okay, let's go and make this happen then.
So the soap opera continues to swirl, and is David Griffin, the ex-GM who was soon to be removed, was he going to acquire Paul George or Jimmy Butler or both, or what was going to happen? And then he gets fired, and all of a sudden Dan Gilbert takes over and acquires for Kyrie a little 5'9" player who plays no defense, who walks in the door and starts talking as if he is the co-star, that he is LeBron's equal.
Remember, though, he's 5'9", injured.
Injured. He is facing career-threatening hip condition that has sapped some of his explosiveness, at least from what we saw. I know he's been a little better in L.A., but I don't know. I'm not sure. So what soap opera is that he comes in and on a nightly basis, he's talking like, this is my team. It's your team.
Talking, and he's not even playing, Skip. Remember, he hit the door talking, oh, yeah, I'm going to get me 30 a night. Oh, we're going to be bomb diggity.
Okay.
Dude.
Okay. So then LeBron James, this very basketball season, went on about a 20-game stretch in which he was the MVP of this league in his 15th season. MVP. And then all of a sudden, they hit the skids. He hits the skids. He kind of just shut down emotionally on his team. And for 19 straight games, he has the worst plus-minus in all of basketball. What is it, 518 players in the league? He had the worst plus-minus, which precipitates this flashpoint team meeting, which precipitates trade deadline, and it goes boom, boom, boom in the 11th hour before the trade deadline, and they pull off three that change the whole face of the team, and they go right out and dominate Boston at Boston and dominate the Thunder at Thunder. And I'm saying, wow, it looks like they've been playing together for what, like 3 years?
Yeah, they started the season together.
Were we not? You were cheerleading, man.
Oh, yeah.
I was too. I thought this looked great. And all of a sudden, in their last 7 games, they're 3-4, and I can't figure out where all that went.
Right.
Well,
but to get back to Kevin Love, I think for them to attack him the way he did, he felt, because look, as he says, he's been dealing with this for a while. I think the attack by the veteran.
The first one was November 5th.
Right.
They were losing to Atlanta. And all of a sudden, he got dizzy and felt like his brain was trying to leap out of his head, and he was losing his shortness of breath. So he said that was the first time. Remember, this is his 10th season, so he's not ever experienced this he was under some microscope at UCLA on very good loaded basketball
Right.
teams, and then 6 years in Minnesota and now in Cleveland. Been under a lot of scrutiny, but this is the first time it's hit him, according to Kevin.
I think being attacked by teammates. Skip, you know when the media or fans like, oh, Kevin, you're a bum, or Kevin, what's going on, or this or that. That's one thing. But the guys you go to battle with every day, and they're attacking him. And they were attacking Kevin Love because oh, bro, you just checked out. Okay, what's going on? Why weren't you here? Why couldn't you be on the sidelines? Okay, I get it. Something was going on, but you could be on the sidelines. If you're not going to be on the sidelines, how about be in the locker room and give us a... He almost felt backed in a corner that I got to tell him what's going on. Because I can assure you, had they not put him in that situation, I don't believe Kevin Love would have divulged this information, Skip. But he had to because he was being attacked. His manhood was being attacked. And so...
And reportedly, Isaiah Thomas was leading the charge.
Yeah, see, and Joe, I told him, put the mitts on him. See, now, if he put the mitts on him, we understand why, because Kevin Love, like, I was dealing with something, and he pushed me to a point that I had to come out swinging.
Yeah.
But you know what, Skip? I commend him for this, because we've all dealt with something. We're all dealing with something. Under no circumstances are we letting that out. This is probably the most difficult thing that Kevin Love has had to pull the curtain back and reveal. And he did it. Now, he's just not a normal guy that's just walking down the street. That's Kevin Love. He plays NBA basketball, and for the most part, millions and millions of people. But what he did, he put a face and says it's okay. Because you can make millions of dollars. You can be a professional athlete, and you can have some of the same issues as a guy that's walking down the street and nobody knows. So I commend him for that. But I'm just going to tell you, Kevin, you know how this works. I've played with guys, and they've had certain issues, and don't think I didn't let them know about it when we got on the field. So when you're on the basketball court and we doing battle, I wish you all the best. But
okay,
I got to do what I got to do.
And as cold-blooded as this may come across, remember, Kevin Love is making $22.6 million. It's a lot of money. And he's scheduled next year to make 24, and the next year about 26. It's a lot of money. So a Cavaliers fan or a ticket buyer, customer, they're just going to expect Kevin Love to come back and play with it to figure this out.
I don't care
right?
about that, Skip.
Right? They're not in the end. Are they sympathetic? Yes,
Yeah,
they're sympathetic.
yeah.
Yes.
But when you get on the court,
Hey.
all they see is zero.
That's all they see.
Love on the back.
Yeah.
Okay, now go give us 20 and 10.
Yeah.
And then you deal with that. You deal with that on your time.
Yeah.
When I'm paying my hard-earned money and I'm watching you play and I'm rooting for the Cavaliers, I need you to give me 20 and 10, and you can deal with that. I'm sorry. And it comes off as being callous. It comes off as being cold.
It does.
But I'm being real with you, Skip.
Yep.
And that's what I said about guys being injured. When you go out there and you're injured, whether you had to take pain-killing injections, whether you had to take pain-killing pills, all they see is that number with that name on the back, and they expect that production as if you were 1,000% healthy.
In your last Super Bowl, what happened to you?
I sprained my MCL. I had like a grade 2, almost a 3.
Okay. Did anybody know about it?
They didn't know at first, and because I tried to go back in, I tried to tape it up. I just couldn't go.
But I'm saying before the game, were you talking about it?
No, it happened in the game.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, okay.
No.
All right.
But there have been times, Skip. Now, your boy Shea is taking his share of pain-killing injections.
I know.
But you know what, Skip? Those fans didn't want to hear about that.
They
didn't want to hear about Shannon was not practicing. All Shannon was doing was shooting up his ankles and going to play.
Yep.
And you going to give me that 1,000 yards? You going to have them 10 touchdowns?
Yep.
That's what we need to know. Are you going to help the Broncos win? John Elway needs a go-to guy. So all that other stuff that you're dealing with, ice them, elevate them, do whatever you need to do.
Okay.
But I need you there on Sunday.
How many times have you said on the show, when Kevin Love gets back, when Kevin Love gets back, when Kevin Love gets back, right?
Yes.
Well, he says he's coming back sooner than later from his broken, whatever it is, like a
His
hand.
hand.
Okay? So here we go. Down the stretch, we got most teams have 18, 19 games left. And the Cavaliers have had as big a roller coaster ride as I can ever remember a good team having.
Yes.
Because they've been blown out a bunch of times, and they've had some nice wins. So do you realize for the whole year, they're only in point differential plus 19. To put that in perspective, that ranks 16th in the NBA, plus 19, because the Rockets are now plus 5. 557. So they've scored 557 more points than their opponents. The Cavs only 19 more. Even Toronto has scored 551 more than its opponents as the best team in the East, or they're vying obviously with Boston. And so that's 532 more point differential points than the Cavaliers have. So it's way up and way down, and way up and way down. So
getting beat by 30, getting beat by 40.
My point is, if you have panic attacks and you're coming back into this cauldron, this pressure cooker, God bless, man, because it's not going to get any easier.
Well, the good news is now he is getting help for it.
Right.
So we want to commend DeMar DeRozan for getting the conversation started. But
he did.
I think all of us would agree that sports is overwhelmingly more mental than it is physical. We've seen thousands of athletes with incredible physical ability not make it because they don't have the mental capacity to endure in that. But having this conversation about mental health is important. It's important in our society right now. That term gets thrown around a lot, but people kind of ignore it because it's a taboo thing. It's very hard to reveal your deepest, darkest scars, even to the people close to you, let alone to the whole world. But look at someone like Metta World Peace or Royce White, Lamar Odom.
Right.
Delonte West.
I want to commend my friend Brandon Marshall and
Brandon Marshall,
because he started that conversation.
Right. Having that conversation is important, not just for yourself and to grow from that, but it makes other people feel comfortable coming out and talking about it, which is what DeMar started.
Being an athlete, Joy, and your brother was an athlete, and you and being with athletes, you understand how important the mental aspect is. But to the fan, ain't nothing wrong with his arm. Put the ball in the basket.
Right, but what fans need to understand is the mental part far outweighs the physical part. The physical part you can understand because you can see it. You can see when someone's ankle is turned around. You can see when there's blood coming out of their head. You can't see what's going on inside
the demons
them.
inside.
Look at the situation that just happened with Jonathan Martin.
Yes.
Imagine if that was taken seriously before it got to the point that it is now. That's why these conversations are important.
No mercy.
Dez Bryant's status in Dallas has been up in the air since he said he will not take a pay cut. Yesterday, he posted an image of himself walking out of the Cowboys tunnel, which led to speculation he was leaving Dallas. Dez was apparently not a fan of the speculation because he tweeted, "What the bleep is wrong with you people? I posted a bleeping picture. Bleep starting to piss me off now. It's me in a Dallas Cowboys uniform where I belong. Get a life, please." He later deleted that tweet. So it's as if it's never happened. Shannon, what does this tell you?
It tells me that Dez Bryant is starting to feel the pressure and maybe the realization that his tenure with the Dallas Cowboys is coming to an end. And Skip, I get it. I get how fans can come to the conclusion you're posting a picture, you're walking away, they see that Cowboys uniform, I understand why they're leaping to that conclusion.
With an X.
With an X.
Not throw up the X, just X. Like X.
This is what we know. He's heard Stephen Jones talk. He's heard Jerry Jones talk. Now, maybe he hasn't talked to them directly, but Dez knows what's going on. He's well aware that the salary that he thought he was going to make in 2018, he will not be close to that. He knows that the Cowboys are unhappy with his production. He's upset at people for him. Now, I can get it. If this was 1 year, Skip, if this was 2015, 1 year, like, okay, he had a down year, blah, blah, blah. But we've seen a 3-year skid here.
We have.
So the likelihood of somebody having a 3-year skid and then picking up and then taking off again is not very good. And the Cowboys are saying, Dez, we have no problem paying you, but we can no longer pay you for the production that you're giving us. And for him to leap to this and to say WTF and this and that, to get so, we know he's emotional, but to get so confrontational like this, starting to bother him because he knows it. He knows what's coming. But here's the thing, Skip. Normally, if I have a bad game, it's during the season, guess what? I get next Sunday to rectify that. Dez Bryant's got to wait 6 months before he can prove or disprove anything one way or another. All he can do is hope, talk about it, but he can't play. So here we are in March, and a decision's going to be made shortly after March 14th. Be it good, bad, or indifferent for Dez And unfortunately, the sad thing is, Skip, I believe Dez Bryant believes he can only be Dez Bryant in that Cowboys uniform. That's the sad thing.
It's pretty sad.
It's tight. And he's a hometown. He's from Dallas. I think we all agree. Man, grow up, play for the hometown team. Woo.
He's from Lufkin.
Yeah, but he's always been a Cowboys fan.
Yep.
And now think about it. You grow up and your favorite team drafts you in the first round. You get to put that uniform on, Skip.
Ooh.
But I'm afraid Dez Bryant, everything that is Dez Bryant is tied to him being in that uniform.
I agree. So, the word you hit upon, the operative word here for me is sad. This is getting sad. I believe Dez posted that picture. He's a smart guy. He knows what was happening.
Yeah.
With him walking away with an X. And I think he was seeking a little bit of sympathy from his followers. It was Twitter, right? Or was it not?
Instagram.
Instagram, okay. So he's seeking some sympathy. And he wanted some, please don't go, Dez. And I think he got a lot of, please go. Right? Please go. He wanted sympathy. He got too much angry. He made the mistake, as I always tell you, don't read your comments, especially now.
I gotta read them.
But you can't read these now because they're just going to drive you over the edge because he's already on the edge emotionally. And this drove him completely over the edge, and he went knee-jerk reaction again and posted that response.
Right.
And his emotions are, you loved me. Why don't you love me now?
Right.
Guess why? Because with him, he had enough cachet. It's maybe not, it's not what have you done for me last Sunday. It's what have you done for me last year. He's got it up to the point
the
where,
year before that.
or the year before, but he got years. You know,
Yes.
he built up enough cachet
Yes.
where you could take have a bad year,
Right.
but after a couple of them,
Right.
even though he's been hurt, now he's just this broken down shell of himself. Listen, he's got to understand, all these young star players have to understand, they don't love you. They love what you can do for their bragging rights. It's all about bragging rights and fandom, right?
Yes.
That's what it all boils down to.
Yes.
It's your self-image as a fan is sort of attached to your football team. And as it goes, your self-image and your ability to brag on Twitter, Instagram, or in the office,
Right.
wherever you go, your ability hinges on Dez's ability to perform. And
Yes.
if he doesn't, you're like, heck with you, right? So they're saying, heck with you, Dez.
Skip, and I've always tried to, and I learned this at a very young age. I mean, play in sport, in professional sports, they applaud what you do, not who you are. And when you can no longer do that, the applause will stop.
It will stop.
Dez, you don't get it. You think because you play in the Cowboys, no. They want to see 1,400 yards and 16 touchdowns, and you're not giving them that. So, yeah, they're going to still, silent clap for you because you're in the uniform.
They will.
But they don't love you like they once did because you can't give them the love that they once sought. That's what you don't get, Dez. You can't get upset because you can control that, Dez. This is what we know. We see you get almost the same amount of targets with half the catches and a third or fourth of the touchdowns. And what do you expect the Cowboys to do? There are very few positions, with the exception of quarterback, that if you have, normally you have one bad year that comes, hey, want some of that money back.
That's true.
2, that's for sure they're coming to get it.
Agreed.
3, oh, you already know you about to slide them some of that.
No.
Give some of that check back, George. Dez, you know how this works.
Well, he doesn't yet, but he's about to. Because he still thinks he's Dez Bryant, and he's not. He's just not.
I get it, and Jerry loves you.
Yep.
But let me tell you something that Jerry loves more than you. Money.
He does.
And he's paying you a lot of it, and Stephen Jones laid it out for you. Dez, we know and Dez know we're paying him a lot of money. This is a business, and there are expectations. When you make a lot of money, there's a lot of expectations. We expect play to meet the money.
Yep, that's
well, the play is not meeting the money.
Not even close.
So what do you expect them to do?
He led the league in drops. Ugh. And look, I feel for him. I don't feel sorry for him, but I do feel for him because I remind everybody, and Cowboy Nation knows this, after that 2014 season, which was, it was really, it was
1,400 yards and 16 touchdowns.
I'm not going to say all-time greatest, but it was up in the all-time range of seasons. In that summer, as he wanted his money and he finally got his money, Dez Bryant was on the cover of Rolling Stone. That's crossover.
Yes.
Get on the for an NFL star.
Absolutely.
And he was Rock Nation, Jay-Z, one of their prominent early clients. Wow, he had arrived.
Signed with Brand Jordan, the sneak, I mean, the cleats, I mean, he rocking it.
He was rocking everything. He had it, and he was a cowboy in Dallas as a Texas kid. It doesn't get a whole lot better than he had it that summer, and he got his money. Okay.
Deserved it.
Here you go.
Deserved it.
But you got to then continue to earn it.
Yes.
And his body broke down. And I don't blame him as much as he's a high collision player. He's got 20 things wrong with his body. And you saw it last year. Whatever, he didn't have a whole lot of speed to start with, but he lost a step of whatever he didn't even have.
Yeah, but Skip, when you lose a step and you can only do X, well then Y and Z,
No.
what are they supposed to do?
No.
I mean, Dez, they look at you and they says, okay, we're riding with Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott is not going anywhere. They're looking at him and they say when he throws the ball to you, his completion percentage go down. His quarterback rating goes down. His interception rate goes up.
Yep.
That's what they know.
Yep.
Unlike John Gruden, I'm sure the Cowboys have analytics. That's what the analytics are telling them.
They might have a GPS system.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I don't know. I don't know if they're that advanced.
That, I'll tell you what, you don't need analytics.
Yep.
What the tape tell you? We throwing you 13 balls and you still can't get 100 yards. We throw you 19 targets and you get 2 of them picked and 1 for a 103-yard touchdown return. So I don't need analytics for that. Cut the tape on. That's all we got to do. The tape don't, look here, that's the one thing I love about tape. Because you know what, Skip? It don't know if you're black or white. It doesn't know how much money you make. All it does is record what it sees. So when you cut that tape on, when Jerry and Stephen Jones and all those higher-ups, they get in there and look at the tape,
Yep.
what do they see, Skip? They see a guy that can't get separation.
Can't get
They see a guy that plays basically one position, runs 2 routes, back shoulder fade or end breaking route. That's what they see. And he hasn't progressed from that.
He has not. And then lack of serious work ethic. I'm not saying he doesn't work, but he doesn't work the way you worked. He didn't work to establish a broader route tree. He didn't try to evolve as a receiver. It all came back to haunt him because once you lose that step, you're going to go fall back on what? Nothing.
Skip,
Nothing.
you know, my grandfather told me and my brother, he said, you two fellas mistake hard work for habit. See, you think because you're doing something over and over, you working hard.
Yep.
And see, Dad thought because he's going out there running rim sprints and lifting weight, he was working hard. That was a habit. And I tell people that I go to the gym every day. You ain't working hard. Just because you do something every day doesn't mean you're working hard. There's 2 different things. There's habit, there's hard work. There's a separate skill. You can't win maybe I don't know all I need to know about basketball or baseball, but when it comes to football, they can't fool Shannon Sharpe. Because Shannon Sharpe worked his way up from the ground floor. So I know what hard work is.
Yep.
Dez fooling them. He ain't fooling me. Because Dez has gotten no better from the time he set foot in Dallas.
And
Zero.
now he's not even fooling his followers on Instagram because they're calling him out and he doesn't like it.
Well, he fooled
You
Jerry.
don't love me anymore?
He fooled Jerry and Stephen Jones for 2 years.
He did.
He couldn't even fool them for
No.
another. We actually fooled him for 3 years because he got that money in 2015 season. So 15, 16, and 17, yet to hit 1,000 yards. His targets are almost the same.
Yeah.
He hasn't even come close to those numbers.
Not even close. So, as a Cowboy fan yesterday afternoon, where did my mind go? I heard that, oh, wait, the Rams didn't franchise tag Sammy Watkins?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, Jacksonville didn't franchise tag
Allen
Robinson? They're on the market, they're unrestricted, and I'm thinking, Jerry's not big on free agents, but I'm thinking, would I rather have Allen Robinson or Sammy Watkins? As a fan, that's where my head's going. How can it not go there?
Really?
And I'm starting to think, I kind of like Allen Robinson better.
Yeah.
He's a little bigger, maybe not as fast, but he's more durable, even though he's hurt all last year.
Yes.
But Sammy's always got something going on.
Always
so
got
I'm
it.
thinking,
He's
maybe,
special when he plays,
Yeah.
but he plays
but I'm
so
already
infrequently.
thinking, could Allen Robinson replace Dez Bryant? Sure he could.
You saw what Philadelphia did. They went out and
They
got
went
him
and got him.
help on the edges. That's what you got to do for Dak. Okay, you got Zeke. That offensive line hopefully comes back and they'll be healthy.
Yep.
But I don't care how good your offensive line is. If you don't got those edge players, If you don't got guys that can make plays, because I know we don't think Amendola and Cooks and all those guys, but those guys can make plays, Skip.
Yeah.
And that's what you need. That's what you need to give Dak. Give him some playmakers.
Alshon was a game changer.
Yes.
Well,
Ertz.
Ertz is a game changer. Yep.
Aguilar, too. They got guys that can. You got to give Dak. If you want to see Dak maximize what he can do, you got to give him weapons.
Yeah.
And right now they don't have nearly enough of them. They have guys that can catch the ball, move the stick, but Skip, you're not methodically going down the field.
Nope.
14, 15 plays every drive.
Those Patriots slot guys aren't really Jerry's style.
No.
You know.
Well, he's got his little measly Beasley.
Yeah, but Jerry's
Where did he go?
a little more pizzazz.
He want a star.
And,
No, he wants a star.
Popcorn.
He want
and
Antonio
stuff
Brown.
going
He want names.
Yeah.
Amendola.
And maybe that's why this is going on with Dez. I mean, Dallas can hang on to a superstar for a little too long.
Fading, Skip. That star is not getting bright. It's dimming.
Yep.
No mercy.
Next up, the Rockets just keep rolling. They won their 16th straight last night on the road against the Thunder. Chris Paul scored 25 and James Harden added 23 points and 11 assists. It was the 50th win of the season for Houston, and they remain a half game ahead of the Warriors. Shannon, what % chance do you give the Rockets to win the West?
Fitting, maybe 20. That's top, Skip. Think about this. They won 16 straight games. They're a half game in front of the Warriors. Let that sink in for a second. They won 16 straight games. They're a half game in front of the Warriors.
Yep.
And I give them credit. This thing is blended way better than anybody possibly thought, because you got two ball-dominant players coming together.
Yep.
Well, how's it just going to work? How's James Harden, Chris, blah, blah, blah. Okay, it's worked out well. I want to see it work in the playoffs. I want to see when you're down 3, who going to get the ball? Who going to have the ball? Now, if you're going to tell me they're going to make 17 threes, I'm going to bump that up to 40%, Skip. Because 17 threes going to win you a lot of games, especially in the playoffs. It's going to be hard for me to believe somebody's going to beat you if you make 17 threes in the playoff game.
Yep.
And that's what they did. You're going to get this kind of balanced scoring. You're going to have every guy that played scored at least 6 points. James Harden had 23 and Paul 25, and Eric Gordon was Eric Gordon. Trevor Ariza making big shots. P.J. Tucker. They didn't even get a big performance, be it offensive from points or rebounds from Capella.
No, they did not.
But I know what the Warriors are. They battle tested. They've been there. Steph, KD, Thompson, Dre. I know that. I know, Skip. You don't be in this position. You don't win 67, 73, 67, on pace to win another 65 to 68 ball games.
Yep.
3 straight finals without being battle tested. That's good. I gave him 15%. Hell, that's better than anybody else got a chance of beating them. So you should feel proud of that. But, and I know they're 33-1 when CP3 plays and Capella and Harden, they're 33-1. In a 2-week series against that team by the Bay. I give them 15% chance to beat them because I know what Golden State will do come playoff time. I still don't know.
Yep.
Because those two guys, Skip, we've seen those two guys before on separate teams having an opportunity to win a series, and they wet the bed. So I'm taking the Warriors, so I'm giving them 15. And had they not gone on this streak, it might have been 5.
I'll give these Houston Rockets a 1% chance of beating Golden State for the reasons you just detailed. I'm going to say this one more time, just to declare this, just for the record. If Kawhi Leonard ever gets his head right within the next 2 weeks, I will give San Antonio a good shot of dethroning Golden State, because this is a deep San Antonio team, and all of a sudden Tony Parker is starting to look like Tony Parker again. So they got all the elements. Rudy Gay just came back. LaMarcus has been hurt. But they're 3-8 in their last 11 games. So they're also in danger of missing the playoffs.
Yeah, they better get on the ball.
That's what I'm saying. Because this thing from 3 in the West down through about 10, somebody's going to get bumped, man, because they're all like 4.5 games separating all those teams. So back to the Rockets. I do have to say this. I am amazed at how well James Harden and Chris Paul are playing together. I'm just like blown away by it. And I sat back last night. They just dismantled Oklahoma City at Oklahoma City.
Yes.
It wasn't like Melo got off hot the start, and then, as usual, he's faded into the woodwork. And James Harden and Chris Paul took turns toying with the Thunder's defense. And what amazes me is I didn't think they could play together, especially this quickly. But here's the point. They don't actually play together. They don't play two-man basketball where they're playing off each other. They take turns.
Yeah.
They're like co-solo stars, and they're happy with it. Like, you watch James sometimes, he'll just be a little winded, and he's been, because he's working on defense a little harder than he used to. So he'll be like, okay, I'm going to go stand over here, and you and Capella play pick and roll, okay? And then now it's my turn. I'm going to play pick and roll with Capella or whoever else wants to come pick for me, and I'll do it. And they're happy because they seem to really like each other, like truly like and respect each other.
Yeah, Chris Paul seems really, really happy in Houston.
He seems very happy. And I got to tell you, I've never seen him shoot threes like this.
Yeah.
Because I didn't ever think he was that much of a marksman. And now, what is he up to? 38%? No, it's 39%. Wow. That's Chris Paul shooting like that? He's a dead eye.
But I tell you what, let James Harden turn the ball over 10 times against Golden State.
All right.
And see what happens.
Okay.
They're not winning by 10. They're losing by 10.
Okay. Right now, they have the best record in basketball. Let them go on a little losing jag, and let's see how happy Chris is, right? Let them get down 3-1 in a playoff series, and let's see how happy Chris is.
Yeah.
Right?
Because we know the Golden State Warriors are battle tested, and I know Kawhi got hurt, but they were down 23. We saw them down late in the ball in Game 3 in Cleveland. And they come back and win that ball game. So we've seen them. They were down early in Portland. 15, Dame Lillard's going bonkers. C.J. McCollum's going bonkers.
Yep.
So I know what the Warriors are capable of come playoff time. We still don't know. We know what the Houston's doing in the regular season.
I don't know.
Regular season is one thing.
Yep.
Come playoff time, being down by 5 late in the ball game is something entirely different.
I agree. And it does seem still a little gimmicky. I know Daryl Morey loves the analytical concept of taking so many threes. Do you realize the Houston Rockets have attempted 381 more three-point shots than the next team? Brooklyn Nets.
Yes.
They've got the second most three-point attempts. 381 more? They're just jacking it from everywhere.
Yes.
Wow. And yet, they have now sort of replaced Ryan Anderson in the lineup, who's a big three-point shooter, with P.J. Tucker, who plays a little bit of defense. So they have risen up in the defensive ranks. They're reasonable now in defensive efficiency. They're up to 9th. Well, that's pretty good compared to what they were last year. So they play a lick of defense.
Well, you got Trevor Ariza that plays D.
He does.
PJ plays D.
Yeah.
And Bob Moute plays D.
He does.
So they got guys on the court at all times.
Yeah.
You're going to have guys that can play defense as opposed to guys that
and James and Chris both are high steals guys.
Yeah, and Chris Paul's always been a defensive guy. He's been on the all-defensive team.
So at least you have that, but Golden State sunk some defensively, but they're still tied for 5th. So they're just better defensively. And then in every offensive category, it's Golden State 1 and Houston 2. So why? And I think because on efficiency, offensive efficiency, it's Golden State, and they don't try nearly as many threes. They're a 2-point team. They'll beat you from 2.
Skip this.
Okay.
What? First of all, I just need to know, come playoff time, what they're going to do with that 7-foot monster at the Bay. What are you going to do with Steph? I get it. But these guys can go, if they're going to get this kind of balance scoring, they don't need James Harden to go get 40.
Yeah.
He doesn't need 40 because they can balance this out with Chris Paul and Ariza. Now, if you're going to have a stat line like this, Skip, if you're going to have the highest guy has 25 and everybody's going to be between 8 and 25, okay, they got a great chance. And they're going to shoot 51% from the 3-ball? Okay, I'll say, okay, Golden State might have to, Steve Kerr might have to watch a little extra film.
You got it.
But
okay, so now the 2 hottest teams, other than those top 2 teams in the West, Anthony Davis's team, he's just going out of his mind.
He lost his mind.
So they've won 9 straight, and he's averaged 38 and 15 in those 9 straight games without DeMarcus Cousins.
And he said he called his shot. He said, I'm going to have the Russell Westbrook mentality.
Okay.
If I got to shoot 30, 40 times, so be it.
He also said if DeMarcus had stayed healthy, that they would get to the NBA Finals. But now, for 9 straight games, they look like at least a threat to Golden State. I'm going to say it again. Anthony Davis has never won a single playoff game in his whole NBA career. So am I going to trust this team led by him, just by him alone, to go forward in the playoffs?
And you know
Not
who,
really.
You know who else has been equally as hot? Dame Lillard.
Okay.
He's out his mind, Skip.
Okay, they are. So they've won 8 in a row and 10 of 11, the Portland Trail Blazers. And look at his playoff resume and tell me he's a big threat to Golden State. Just look at what he's done. Just look.
Because they beat somebody. I mean, Now, I trust Dame Lillard in the playoffs more than I trust James Harden.
I would too. I would agree with that.
Man.
But Dame's had some quiet seasons too. I know because some of them against my Spurs.
Well, and the thing is, I mean, he lost LaMarcus. I believe LaMarcus didn't like the fact that Dame was coming, and it was about to be his team.
No, they were clashing.
And he went to San Antonio like, oh, Tim Duncan going, I got this thing now.
That's true.
And he met his destiny on the very road he took to avoid it.
Somebody said that once.
He did. And guess what? He didn't want to share. He wanted to be the big fish.
Yeah.
But here come Dame, and he went to San Antonio, and sure enough, got it. When he playing, Skip, who's the master?
Yeah.
Junior.
Skip, we made a lot of progress in this segment. Shannon finally admitted,
What?
the Warriors were down 23 to the Spurs.
You said that. You actually, that came out of your
They
mouth.
were down.
Yeah.
But I wasn't worried. I wasn't worried.
So did
No,
it
you
mean
weren't
something,
worried
or
after
did it-
Zaza
did it mean
cheap
anything?
shot.
No, I was now.
when you-
You should have been worried when it was down, but LeBron had to take a break. He had unplayed for like 40 minutes, and he was like, okay, LeBron, we're going to give you a break. 90 seconds, had a 12-point lead, he come back in as 2. 90 seconds, that's what happened.
What game are you talking about?
You know what game I'm talking about. Game 3, the Warriors and the Cavaliers. You know what
that
game. Gone in 60
Turning
seconds.
point. Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Wait, they had a 4-point lead with a minute?
Had a 12-point lead.
Huh.
LeBron said, you know what, I just want some water. LeBron went to the... Lou called timeout. LeBron, I just got...
Can't take a break. One NFL coach is not a fan of Baker Mayfield, and we'll discuss that next.
No mercy.
Baker Mayfield is expected to go high in the first round of the draft, but his on and off the field issues were a big subject at the Combine. NFL Network's Kimberly Jones asked several NFL coaches and GMs about the Heisman Trophy winner and got mixed reviews. When she asked one anonymous NFL coach about Mayfield, the coach rolled his eyes and said Baker is, quote, cocky, over the top cocky. Shannon Sharpe would never be described as that.
Never.
Nope.
What do you make of this?
Doesn't bother me. Know somebody that's cocky. Know him very, very well. And never had a problem with that guy. Never had a problem with him, Skip Bayless. So it's okay with me. But
Which guy are you talking about?
born in 1968 in Cook County, Chicago, Illinois.
The guy in the mirror every morning?
Yeah, to one Mary Alice Sharpe and Winton Pete Sharpe. Skip, this doesn't bother me. You just got to back it up. I've always said this. Quarterbacks have the biggest ego of any players, of all the players in professional football.
Yep.
But they have the thinnest skin. They do the best job of hiding it. Now, John was supremely confident.
John Elway, yeah.
My quarterback for 9 years, Skip, and he, to this day, I believe he's the highest rated player that's ever been graded since they started grading players.
Okay.
But did he believe that he could make every throw? Did he believe he could make every game, to win every game? Absolutely. But he never displayed it
He did not.
like this. I mean, what gave it away that he was cocky? Was it him planting the flag at Ohio State? Was it him grabbing his crotch across the field? Saying,
Nah.
when did you realize that, you know what, this is brash here? But here's the thing. If you display this type of behavior, Skip, you better be a hell raiser on the field. Guys have no problem. Be who you are. Do what you want. But when it comes Sunday, they need you to turn the lights out the building.
They do.
And if he does that,
Yep.
and he was Heisman Trophy winner, they won the Big 12, so he backed it up on the college level. But if you bring that same type of behavior to the NFL, they expect those same type of results. So you better deliver division titles, and you better get this team to the playoff and win, Baker, because that act away real thin.
Yep. So I wonder if the coach, who's quoted anonymously, watched a lick of college football last year. Does he know? did he follow this at all? Maybe he was so locked into pro football that he's just now discovering what Baker Mayfield is all about. He's over the top. Duh. Yeah, that's who he is. It's who he always was. He's got a bigger than Texas chip on his shoulder pads, and it's bigger than Johnny Manziel's chip ever was. It's how he drove himself to be not just a one-time walk-on, he walked on twice. He walked on at Texas Tech, and guess what, boys and girls? He clashed with and left the coach who loves Johnny Manziel the most. Cliff Kingsbury coached Johnny through that first year, through his Heisman year at Texas A&M, the first year he started there. Cliff was his quarterback coach. And I know because I have talked for hours with Cliff about Johnny. And trust me, over the moon about Johnny. This is back in his college days, not now, obviously. But you ought to, the stories of Johnny's performance are legendary. Where he'd come to the sidelines shrugging, saying, "I'm sorry, coach," because he'd just break the play. You know, he'd just do whatever he felt like doing, and then he'd score. And Cliff would always tell him, "You never have to apologize to me for a touchdown. You just don't, even though you did it the opposite way of how I called it." So remember, Baker Mayfield left that guy. He didn't like him, and he said, "I'm going to go sit out a whole year and live in the students' dorm at the University of Oklahoma, where my father went." And I'm just going to go tap Coach Stoops on the shoulder and say, "Hey, Coach, do you know of me? I started at Tech." "Yeah, I know of you. I would like to play here." "You would?" "Sure, you can come out for our team." So he had to just go out and try out. And the rest is Heisman Trophy history. That's this guy. But I've been thinking about this. History would tell you, in your game, the National Football League game, cocky does not survive.
Not in that position.
Not at quarterback. It doesn't survive. I got to tell you, because the two little men who made it at quarterback, Drew Brees, Russell Wilson, they don't display cocky, do they?
No.
These are yes sir, no sir guys, right? High quality, high class, the way they carry themselves. Or do they believe it? Yeah. Are they sort of cocky in what they think they can? Yeah.
Absolutely.
But do they display it? Do they act it out? Do they plant flags and grab crotches? They do not. Neither one of them do.
No.
And I tried to think of any sort of overachieving quarterback who made it cocky. Jim McMahon with the '85 Bears, but he wasn't cocky at BYU. He got cocky and displayed it once his team he was backed up by arguably the greatest defense ever, right?
Correct.
And they're doing the Super Bowl shuffle. And he's, remember at the Super Bowl that year, he mooned the helicopter at practice, and so he was called the punky QB, and that was outrageous behavior. But it took a while. He had to earn his stripes first as a Chicago Bears starting quarterback. And was he a great player? No, he wasn't a great player. He was a good one. But my point is, was Cam a little cocky coming out of Auburn? A little bit. He was also 6'5", 240, and so he could back it up. You know, you just knew right away, if you don't like it, he might just run your butt over, right?
I think the thing is, as an opponents, they hate cocky, but you love that guy on your team. And we're used to having receivers. T.O. told you, he was bad. Normally that comes from the defensive side of play, the defensive backs, prime time.
Yep, that's true. Yep.
So we're not used to seeing that from that position. And guys will not have a problem. And I think I read in the articles like, you know, that would wear on the organization. It's not going to wear on the organization. It's going to wear on the guys in the locker room. Because you're doing all this talking and you're not winning, the guy's going to tell you to shut the hell up.
Okay.
It's as simple as that. And Shannon Sharpe wasn't for everybody. I came into a perfect situation because Wade Phillips let me be me. Mike Shanahan, all my head coaches let me be me.
They did.
Now, I don't know if I could have played for Tom Coughlin. I don't know if I could have played for Coach Belichick because I had to be me. And I don't know if suppressing me allows me to maximize my ability on the field. But my coach is like, hey, do you. Long as you're going to go out there and make them catches, get the tub of joy, everybody will happy. So, Baker, you ain't gonna be planting no flag because somebody's gonna plant you on your butt.
They would.
The first time you
plant
they
would. So let's go to the top. The two greatest quarterbacks ever, Tom Brady, a 6th-round draft pick, and Joe Montana, a 3rd-round draft pick. Were they ever outwardly cocky?
No.
In any way, shape, or form? I don't know of it.
No, not outwardly cocky, but you know, I mean, after watching Tom versus time.
Okay, I got that.
You know how Tom thinks.
Okay, but now we're he's got 5 rings. He doesn't have 1 ring. He's got 5.
And still, he ain't planting no flags.
No.
He ain't grabbing the crock talking about.
No, he'll go a little psycho Tom.
Yeah.
You go psycho, Tom.
But that's within his own team.
But he did one time, now, Skip, when the guy told him they're going to do something to him in Pittsburgh.
I know.
And he threw that long touchdown. He ran all the way down the field and got.
Okay, but he did it first, and then he went down and told him. But that guy guaranteed they were going to win at Foxborough.
Pittsburgh needs to stop guaranteeing things against New England.
Well, it's got a history, as Joy knows.
They got to stop.
So the point is, like, Baker Mayfield this is his fuel. He's got to do this. Well, the question is, at barely over 6 feet tall, can you then go back it up?
We're gonna see. We're gonna see.
I don't know.
Skip, if you don't Skip, look, my thing is, if you don't like, don't draft him. If he's not your cup of tea, everybody's not everybody's cup of tea. So if you don't like Baker, don't draft him. But don't. That's what I don't get. He's over the top cocky. Okay, so is that a red flag? Are you gonna take him off your board?
Okay.
I mean, some people's like, I love him on the field. I don't like him off the field.
Okay? And yet, I'm going to say it one more time. Bottom line, of all these quarterbacks in this draft, he is easily the most accurate thrower.
Yes.
And he is the most efficient thrower. He's least likely to make a big mistake. He's high risk, but low interceptions. He only threw 6 picks. What was it,
43 and 6.
43 to 6?
So in 5 to 10 years, you
Yeah.
believe he will have the best career of these guys.
But I'm not sold on any of them. I'm serious. I'm not. I was sold on Deshaun Watson last year. I had no doubt.
Yes.
I had no doubt.
Yes.
And I have some doubts on all these. But if you force me to take one of these quarterbacks, I would take him. Do I trust him off the field or during timeouts? Not really, because he's liable to do. This is who he is and this is how he fuels himself. Well, he's been playing with the little guys now in college football because, as you well know, this step from college to pro, it is enormous what happens.
Yeah, because for the most part, with the exception of maybe Ohio State, when you step on the field, you're the most talented team.
Yeah.
Oh, you probably going somewhere when you step on the field, you're not going to be the most talented team. And everybody could play. Just about every guy that's on your team went to the combine.
They did. They did.
And
everybody needs different stuff to get their gears going, though, and this is who Baker is.
Yeah.
Shannon had to talk trash to everyone all
They provoked
the time.
me. They provoked me.
Right. He can't change who he is.
No.
He's
Jordan
either going
had
to
to
make it
up
this way.
stuff in his head that, everyone has their own fuel.
Like me, I come here, I'll be minding my own business. Skip provokes me.
I don't know. I kind of like to see Baker try and plant something in the NFL.
Okay. Okay.
No mercy.
Our next guest was a breakout star as a rookie with the Steelers this season. Juju Smith-Schuster, welcome to Undisputed.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And let me say, I don't see this very often, but Shannon Sharpe, you know what it felt like to first step on an NFL field? When I was watching your first game, I could just tell from his body language like you thought you belonged your first game, and I appreciated that, and you lived up to that.
Thank you. It's been an honor. It's been a blessing, to have the opportunity to, live my dreams, turn into reality. And, being in Pittsburgh, I couldn't ask for a better place than where I'm at today. So I'm happy and just keep moving forward.
Because you went to a high-powered offense and you made a place for yourself in that offense. Not that easy to do the first year.
Yeah, it's very hard, especially when they got guys like Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell, Martavis Bryant. They have so many weapons on offense, For me to find my place in that role, it's great.
Yep, well, you definitely fit right in, and you also dominate social media.
Yep.
So for anyone who didn't see it yesterday, you tweeted an image of LeBron with the Pittsburgh skyline and wrote, announcing my official campaign to recruit King James to the Pittsburgh Steelers for the 2018 season. LeBron has done everything in the NBA. He can be the best athlete ever if he makes the move to the NFL and wins a Super Bowl with Steeler Nation. Hashtag LeBron to Pittsburgh.
Yes, and to take up on that, I heard you're a LeBron fan.
No, I'm a LeBron.
Yeah, he's a LeBron
It's a
fan.
joke. Yeah.
You tried to get LeBron broke up. What you trying to
You
do?
know what? I'm a fan of his as an athlete, and at first I was like, what? And unfortunately it's a little late in LeBron's career,
Yes.
but it's not a laughable idea. Like the more I thought about it, he is capable of pulling this off. You and I have not discussed this at all, but I know it's some tongue-in-cheek, but not completely. He could pull this. could he be Jimmy Graham? I think he could be Jimmy Graham.
I think he could have been better had he devoted a lot more time to it. Maybe Shannon Sharpe, you know. But no, I mean, if you look at his skill set, Jimmy is 6'7", LeBron 6'8". So could he, the ability, I think he's equally as athletic as Tony Gonzalez and Antonio Gates. And Gates was a dominant basketball player at Kent.
Shannon Sharpe, yeah.
I played basketball in high school. That was
So,
it.
Juju, why did you do this?
I mean, this is, you know, when the movement went, King James, people were talking about he should go to Warriors, go to Lakers, where he should end up at. And as you guys know, I'm so serious. Like, I'm very, very serious about this campaign. I actually brought a little surprise for you guys.
Okay.
Here, hold his. There you go. I like that.
You guys like that?
Yeah. You got
Let me show you the back.
King James, 23, in Pittsburgh gear. Imagine that.
Cool.
King James, yeah. So,
What, is he gonna play defensive end? Because you don't need any more offensive help.
nah,
If you gonna
that's true.
you gonna play corner?
He gonna play. He can play anything he wants. I mean, and the whole process of this. I mean, when it was going around about King James, he should go here, he should go there. I was like, man, why not come to Pittsburgh? For him to be, I mean, he's a GOAT. Obviously, as a basketball player, but to be the greatest player, the greatest athlete to ever in sports history, become a Pittsburgh Steelers and win the Super Bowl. I mean, you can say the guy did it all.
No, that would do it.
Yeah,
I would agree. So, are you thinking offense or defense? What?
Honestly, I mean, his mentality, like you say, like as a tight end, I'm thinking offense. I mean, the dude can jump, the dude can, he can run.
Yeah.
His body's built, he can block. He's a physical guy, so why not?
I don't know that he would love the contact, although he takes his fair share.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you see him? Oh, yeah, I think he got DB. I see DB in his future. You see him pick that one off of Kevin Durant. Yeah, he's safety.
Safety.
How you gonna throw it over? You can't throw it over his head.
What do you think LeBron could time in the 40 right now at age, what is he, 33?
33. If he were to train, say, give him 6 weeks to train like these guys coming out
Okay.
of high school, he probably could run 4.68, 4.7.
I was going to say 4.8, Shannon Sharpe speed.
No. I say 4.6. I say between 4.65 and 4.75.
Okay, but if he can run that fast at Tristan said he weighed 280. I don't know. Let's do 260.
Yeah.
That would work.
Yeah.
Right?
But you have to
I
understand.
think it'll work.
But here's the thing, Juju. You know this. You got to learn how to fall. You got to know where those hits are going to come from. You run a route, you know where that hit's going to come from. You know how to turn around and not take the shot in your face. Yep. You take the shot in your back. You know how to fall on your back and not fall on your shoulder. LeBron doesn't know how to fall. When he played football, he's so far removed from that to relearn that all over again. Because LeBron go out there and crack collarbone. You got to build these shoulders up. I mean, LeBron ain't lifting those shoulders.
I don't know. He looks pretty buff.
I mean, he be shrugging them off. You get upset when he do that. He be shrugging them off.
I know, but I see him without a shirt on all those.
Yeah, you saw
posts.
that.
He's
Hey,
a
his
weight
built.
room guy. Yeah.
Together.
I think
like old Shay Sharpe. He look like a little old Shay Sharpe. Put together like that.
Yeah.
Like that right
Shay
there.
Sharpe now or?
Oh, Shay Sharpe still go. Hey, don't let it fool you. Shay Sharpe still got like an Aztec god up under here. For real though. Wait, I got something coming for you. 3 months, I'm gonna be 50.
Okay.
I guarantee you ain't gonna find a video like this here.
Huh.
You gonna see a video on Instagram?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Could have fooled me, but
I keep a Batman costume year round.
Remind me a week before so I remember to unfollow.
I thought this conversation was about LeBron James.
LeBron.
Every conversation gets turned to
Me and Brian like this here.
Okay. So, I don't think it's a crazy concept as he plays through this year to no matter whatever happens, the finals. They're going to get back to the finals. I don't think they can win it, but there's no way he's going to catch Michael Jordan to be the GOAT. You say he's a GOAT, but he's not the GOAT. But if he did choose to play football for you, I don't think that's a laughable concept. I think it would be very interesting to see what he could do for 1 year of football with your team because it's high-powered offense. Could he be your best red zone target? Well,
No
absolutely.
doubt. Absolutely, no doubt.
Would he have scored on the play Jesse James did not score on, even though I thought he scored, but against New England? Yeah, probably. Right?
Yeah, I mean, especially for a red zone guy. You talking about a guy you put in, you throw a fade up, you throw a ball up. I'm pretty sure he's gonna go get it with his vertical jump. No doubt.
He might be Gronk. He might could be Gronk. Gronk 6'6", 275, 280. LeBron
Yep.
6'8", 255, 260.
Okay, but Gronk is willing to take shots.
No.
And I don't know if LeBron wants to do that.
No.
Yeah. I mean, the dude's a physical guy. Don't get that wrong. I think the football is way more physical, obviously, and
Way more.
And obviously, he doesn't know how to fall, how to protect himself.
No.
But like you said, you give the guy about a year to study the game. I'm pretty sure with the athleticism, he's able to play the game.
But if you just used him in the red zone, it doesn't get that physical in the red zone. It's not like a high collision place to me if you throw fade routes, right?
A fade and a slant.
Yeah.
No, you better stay on the fade. Stay on that fade.
Yeah,
them
that's
slants,
kinda-
them slants hurt, especially in the red zone.
Yeah.
They hurt.
Sometimes.
They hurt.
Yeah.
And that's a big target, though, Skip. You got to realize now, 6'8" target on the slant.
Yep.
No, stay on. Keep me outside the numbers.
So how close is your team, as it is right now, to the New England Patriots?
Man, our team is. We're working. I trust everybody on our staff, everybody on the offensive side, the defensive side. I put all my trust into them. So this year, it was tough. We fell short. We lost a game at home that we shouldn't have lost. But at the end of the day, we gotta keep pushing, stay positive.
So do you see they've had their issues up in New England? Do you feel like Rome's starting to fall a little bit where they're vulnerable, more so than they were?
For sure. No doubt. And then, like I said, it's for me, I'm new to this. So this is like a new, New England is, our, kryptonite when we say we're bad, or we're Superman. So in a situation like that, it's tough, to see that catch and the whole excitement going, oh yeah, we won the game, to, wow, you lost it. And
Wow,
then,
you lost it.
Yeah, the turn
Then lose home.
Yeah.
But you still had home field. I mean, what happened in the divisional round against Jacksonville? What happened?
I think throughout the whole season, you look at our season, we were 5 games where we were down by 17 points and we came back and won. In a game like Jacksonville, we're down the whole game for about 20 points, and we come back, we win, we lose the game 45 to 42. And in a situation like that, we play great when we're losing as an offense.
Right.
Now, if we step up in the game where we're ahead of the game, come out second half and play strong, obviously it's a different outcome of the game. But we dug a hole too deep for us to get out of.
So are you better than Antonio Brown in your mind? Do you feel like you're better than he is?
AB's probably listening right now.
might
Oh,
be.
you know he listening.
You know he listening.
You know it.
Obviously, everyone has that mindset of, trying to be the best player. Obviously, I have a great mentor. Antonio Brown, the dude's tremendous, a great athlete that does everything around the board.
He does.
I think what I bring different to the game is my physicalness and being able to willing to block for you guys like Le'Veon Bell to, get those 1,000 yards. AB does block too, but I do more of the dirty work.
You do.
And that's how I feel like, my game is more, expandable and more, what I can do on the field for, my team.
And by the way, I looked the other day, we were talking about combine numbers, how overrated the 40 times can be as it applies to how you're going to do in pro football.
Yes.
You were what, 4.5?
Yeah, 4.52.
4.52. Antonio Brown at the combine ran 4.59, which is virtually 4.6,
Right.
which doesn't sound like speed receiver speed, right? It doesn't
Yes.
sound like run by you speed. I think he runs by lots of people, right?
Antonio is more quick than fast.
Well, yep,
I
most
mean,
definitely.
his start-stop and that phone booth quickness is so hard to jam him. And because people are afraid to press him, because if you miss, it's bye-bye. So they're more apt to play off. And then, like I said, he's quick, so he eats up the cushion so quick. They bail. Now he stops.
But
Ball's in there.
he has subtle acceleration.
He does.
When you're not ready for it, and he hits that last gear, and
He can change speeds unbelievably.
he is
Yep.
by people, man.
Yes.
And it's so crazy because, I see this every day. A lot of the oohs and ahs during the game is what he does in practice. And also, it deals with, playing with Ben for so many years. You have that chemistry with your quarterback that, when it said, oh, the quarterback takes 7 steps, to throw the post, and then AB takes, 8 steps to run the post. And it's just the timing's like perfect every time. So it's crazy that, me being how young I am,
Right.
I was a fan, and now actually playing with the guy, it's ridiculous.
That's the hardest thing. The hardest thing it is for a receiver to learn is that you need to be coming open when the quarterback is ready to throw the ball.
Yep.
You can't be early or you can't be late. If you're early, he's not ready to throw the ball. What good is that if you're open if he's not ready to throw it? And if you're late, he's going to someone else. So that's a fine line between knowing, okay, 7, when his back foot hit, he's ready to release it, I'm coming open. That was the hardest thing as a young receiver for myself to learn, is that coming open too quick served me no purpose.
Yep.
It was almost like I was covered because he wasn't ready to throw me the ball. I'm not going to get the ball, so I might as well have been covered. And then, obviously, you covered, he's going somewhere else with the ball.
Yeah, he has his reads, so you gotta know that. And everyone wants to be open because
Right.
you run your route too early.
Yep.
If you're supposed to go 12, don't go 10.
So give us your breakdown of a guy you know from University of Southern California named Sam Darnold, who's going into this draft as he could be the first overall pick. Your thoughts about him and his future?
Super excited about this kid. I played with this Sam Darnold for 1 year. His instincts on releasing the ball out of routes is awesome. For him, I think this year he's a running quarterback, but can also be a pocket quarterback.
Yep.
He's versatile. He can do both. I'm excited where he ends up at. Hopefully not the Cleveland Browns because that'll be going against him. Twice a year.
Going against him.
What's going on with Le'Veon? Obviously, he's been franchised again. He played under the franchise tag last year, held out, came in right before the season started. He threatened to retire, threatened to hold out again, maybe to the season. Do you think a long-term deal gets done? What's going on with Le'Veon in the Steelers?
Man, I'm praying he gets his long-term deal. He proved himself this year. He one of the best running backs in the league, probably the best running back in the league right now. I don't know what he's going to do. If I know Le'Veon, he's for sure going to sit out of camp. Preseason, he's for sure not showing up. And, hopefully during the season he comes back. But, I'm praying that, we can get him back.
Right.
But I think another reason why we franchise tag him is because we're trying to get this guy right here. Trying to get this guy right here, man.
That's a strategy.
Yeah.
Well, that's going to be a lot of money tied up in LeBron. He's
a lot of
going to
money.
35 a year.
He's gonna win a lot
Le'Veon
of
wants
money.
16 a year. AB making 16. Ben making 20.
That's a lot.
They ain't going to have no cheese for you, cuz.
Hey, I'm willing to give up my contract for LeBron James.
Are
man.
you really?
What?
Wow.
That's
That's
a
an
high
offer.
recruiting task you have. Cleveland and Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
You got a
Yeah.
little history there, so you're gonna have to give him a really good pitch.
I know I'm working on it, so if I gotta,
But
gonna do with Joe Lane's
you're
number?
good. You're good with the Browns.
Joe going to give up his number?
hey, LeBron gonna have to pay that check. Gonna have to pay that check.
No mercy.
Thanks for listening to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm Joy Taylor. We're back again tomorrow morning at 9:30 Eastern. We'll see you then.
Fox Sports 1 of 1.